All right, we're already set to rock and roll. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube? Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're all having a fantastic week. It's Friday, December 10th, just after 12:30 p.m. We're taking a look right now at the social sentiment on swaggy stocks. We got the top one today, CPI, Tesla, and CHWY. Pretty much across the board this morning, it's been a pretty slow start. We had ISIG getting a nice little pop pre-market. We had a couple stocks up on the gap scanners, but right when the market opened up, everything had really a quick pop and then failed follow through and a lot of selling this morning. Looking at our new highs versus new lows, 73% of stocks are currently pushing lower and making new lows on the day. We've been keeping an eye on a handful of stocks so far today. DWAC for a retest of 60. Maybe this can break up over that 60 and get a run up to 65. We had our eyes on AERC this morning as it was trying to test that 14 and break over 14, but it just stalled out back down to 13. And now look, it's retesting 14 again. So we'll keep this one on close watch. It could definitely break up over that 14.50 and get a nice push up to the $15, $16 area. PPSI was in play. It tried to push up over 10 and 10.50. Right here this morning, it ran up to 10.50. It pulled back down just below $10, and it gave another attempt at trying to break high of day. Just didn't have the momentum and just stalled out, and currently it's back down now to $9. We'll talk about ISIG. There was two opportunities on ISIG today. Once this morning, pre-market, as it was gearing up just below this $25. From 25, it got a nice pop up to 28. But we were saying right before the market opened on ISIG, it was a bit too obvious. When you scroll out and look at how ISIG has performed every day, it's been ripping up and into nonstop halts to the upside pretty much every day. So it's a bit too obvious, I would say. And people would look at this and say, well, it looks like ISIG likes to rip to the upside right out of the open. And it's been doing that for how many days? You got one right here, and the next day it did it. Now today, people would be looking for the same thing. Chances are it's not going to happen because it's a bit too obvious. I try to think differently than everybody else. You want to think outside of the box, because remember, 90% of people fail and lose money in the stock market. So you want to be that 10% that thinks differently. So ISIG right out of the open, up here at 27, sinks all the way down to 24, a nice $3 downfall. And then it gets driven all the way down just below 19. The second opportunity on this is when it broke the downtrend. Right here. It broke that downtrend, got a nice pullback. It's gearing up right at that $20. Nice psychological level. There's your opportunity right there. From 20 up to 21.50s, almost 22. So just patiently waiting for your opportunity to come along. We had a pump and dump pop up, BFRI. This one right out of the open ran from 5 up to 650s, $1.50, pulls back, and then retest almost its highs up here, and now it's back down to 550s again. So a lot of failed follow through. Stocks came up, retested their highs, and just couldn't get up enough energy to keep up and going. So once again, you had to be very, very selective in what you've traded and waited for. I traded one stock today, ISIG. I traded it once pre-market, and then about an hour ago, we traded that reversal. So we're up today almost 1,400. We had a solid week here at Trading Learning 101. A lot of really good opportunities this past week. And as we're closing in on the year 2021, we got about one solid week left of trading just before all of the holidays coming up. So we got all of next week, the 13th through the 17th. And then after that, we got the 20th to the 24th. So New Year or Christmas Eve is on a Friday, I believe. Christmas is on the 25th. So as we gear up and get towards Christmas, we're going to slowly start to lose more and more volume as people start to head out of town, go on vacation, call it a year, and so forth. Pretty much the end of the year is coming up fast, and people are going to start preparing for 2022. So we got SGMA. This just popped up recently, just before noon. From 8, rips up here to 1050s. Let's see. Yeah, if we get up above that 1050s, we got room to run to 1150. So this could be a nice opportunity if we keep consolidating right here at 10 bucks. This could definitely start ripping up, and it's a low float stock. So let's keep SGMA on watch here from 10. Yeah, this could definitely start ripping up to 11. Also, more big news in the stock market. So it looks like the CFO and CEO of AMC, they unloaded a lot of shares, insider transactions. So we were just looking at this before we pulled up the stream. We got AMC's meme courting CEO sells 9.6 million more of shares. That's a big chunk, and that's going to hold back AMC from doing that big squeeze. So right now, currently AMC, it's testing that 25. When you look at the bigger time frame on this, there's a lot of selling pressure going in on this. A lot of selling pressure. We're at the end of the year. People have been holding on to this for half a year since summer. They're all underwater. So a lot of people could be jumping off ship, driving the price down, giving up on it. If this falls down below 25, the next stop's going to be 20. And then if it falls down below 20, it's going to $15, $10 a share. I don't know what's going to happen with AMC, but we can keep monitoring it, checking up on it, seeing how it sets up. The last 2 days, it's been getting drilled down pretty hard. after it topped out there at 34. Now it's down to 26. So that's an $8 per share pullback. That's a big pullback. Also check up on GameStop. GameStop is at 150. This one on the 10-minute, after it topped out at 250s, man, it's just been getting drilled down super hard. Down to 150. That's a $100 downfall on GameStop. If GameStop falls down below that 150, next stop for it is going to be $100. Oh, let's go back to SGMA. Still hanging out at that 10. So if this falls down, your next support is going to be at 950s. I'd want to see it, bottom line, hold up above 950s. If it falls down below that, everybody's going to give up on it. And its chances of it running back up are very slim. So you want it to hold up near these highs and show that strength. But it's a low float stock. Anything could happen. I mean, look at ISIG. Don't ever underestimate low float stocks. ISIG, it's a nano float stock. The float on it is just under 1 million. So that's the supply right there. Here on Trade Ideas, it says the float is 900K, 900,000. That's a super, super low float compared to something like AMC. Look at the float on AMC, 500 million. That's a $500 million float. So you're going to need a lot of volume to get this stock up and going. A lot of volume. 500 million shares. That's a lot. Let's look at Ford, F. Look at the float on Ford. 3.9 billion. That's a big, big, big float. And look at the volume on it. It's at almost 100 million on the day. So average volume is at around 100 million every day. So when you have these low float stocks like ISIG, you don't need much volume to get it up and going. And that explains why ISIG had such an epic move to the upside, with it being that low float, nano float, under 1 million of supply that's out there. Every day, let's take a look. Look here at the daily chart. So every day on this, its first day it did 83 million in volume. So they rotated that float over 83 times. Day 2, 11.5 million in volume. Still, they rotated that float over 11 times. Day 3, 67 million in volume. So they're rotating this float an awful lot every day. Just the last 3 days there, they rotated that float just about almost 200 times. That's a lot. Going into day 4, 32 million in volume just about. And then today, so far, it's got 11 million in volume. So every day they're rotating the float more than 10, 20, 30 times. That's what leads to good price action. And as traders, that's what we want. And also keep in mind, a lot of these stocks that we trade as day traders, most of them are just garbage companies. They're garbage. They're either just starting up or they're on their way out the door. So every day we see something new pop up. This morning, what was up on the gap scanner? I think it was like CNTX was the number one stock gapping up. Yeah. CNTX this morning was the number one stock gapping up on the gap scanner. And look at where it's at now. It was gapping up and hitting a high up here at almost $9 a share. Now it's down here right back to where it started. I mean, it gave back everything. Everything. So you can't fall in love with these companies if you're a trader. Every day something new is going to pop up. Yeah, prices are getting driven down super hard on this name. Oh yeah, let's check back up on our LCID. Before we started the stream, Hawk called out LCID and we quickly brought it up and did technical analysis on it. You see my green line there at 37. We were just talking about this. We said we would like for it. This is more of like a swing type of trade. And it's just starting to perk its head up from that downtrend. We said we would like for it to pull back down, hold at that 37, and from there, work its way back up and break over 38 and get that push to $39, $40. The risk versus reward is there, definitely. Nice $1 push so far on it right now. So now with it pushing off of that 37, your next area is going to want to be 37.50. Let it pull back to that, hold, retest 38 again, break through it. Next stop is going to be 39. AVCT, this one was a good one today as well. The last couple days, it's been good. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So it started way back here on December 7th, which was Tuesday. It was right at $1. From that, this is why it's important to focus on psychological price levels. It was just under $1 here at the end of the day, Tuesday. This thing fired all the way up to $1.70. Then it fell all the way down right back to that $1. There's our $1 right there. Just pay attention to the area. $1. That could be 90 cents, 95 cents, $1.05. Don't get caught up in the micro transaction of the price. Pay attention to the general level of interest. From that $1, consolidated all day. Next day, you get a nice gap up, 50 cents. You just made 50% on your investment. And from that, $1.50 got a nice consolidation just below $1.50, $1.25. Again, paying attention to the psychological areas. And from that, rips up over $1.50 to $1.75. pulls back. Now it's holding $1.50 as support, and nice uptrend all the way up to $2.50. And look at all that volume come into it. People love stocks that are running up and hitting new highs. And this hit a high today up at $3 a share. So beautiful move on AVCT in low cap penny stock land. Very nice move. NU is a newer IPO. It opened up yesterday. There was some opportunity on this, but it didn't have my attention. This stock opened way over here at 1150s, pushes up to 12, and then it crumbled and fell apart, and then it just consolidated the rest of the day right here. Just consolidated and then lifts up, runs all the way back up to its highs from its first day IPO. Market opens, it crumbles, falls all the way down, even makes a new low. And now it's right back up to its highs up there. So this is in a range, pretty much. Just back and forth range. That's all it is. From $10 to $12. It's in a $2 range. So right now, currently, you're in the top part of the range. SGMA, it's trying to hold that 950s. This could be a nice little squeeze later on. We still got 3 hours before that market closes. And then speaking of newer IPOs, HCP, it's a higher priced stock, but this thing opened yesterday as well, and it's got a lot of good range on it. Yesterday it IPO'd and opened at $81, and it ran all the way up to $89. That's an $8 run. Pulls back down once again, just like the other IPO stock we just looked at. Consolidated the rest of the day. Next morning, rips up to its highs, comes back down, holding previous day's close. It did dip down below it right here, but it quickly came right back up, and now it's squeezing. It's squeezing back up. It trapped shorts. It trapped shorts right here. That's what's going on with HCP. $85 up to $87. It's a nice, well, I'll say $88. So that's a nice $3 rip, all within, what, 8 minutes? AERC, this bad boy, give it time. Give it time. This definitely has a lot of potential. This morning, we also had EFOI gapping up pre-market. This thing just failed miserably. Gaps up to almost $5. What happened? It squeezed shorts. And once it got done squeezing after hitting almost 5, there's no reason for it to be up this high. And no momentum continued to come into it. No volume. So after hitting 5, comes back down to 425. Market opens all the way down to 350s. Did have a nice bounce here from 350 up over 4. So nice 60-cent bounce. But after that, driven down even lower. So this stock is done. It's garbage. IINN also had a good squeeze today as well. Real fast. This was the #1 stock yesterday as it ran up here from 250s all the way up to 620s. Pulled back down, and it was holding in this level all day. Thursday. This morning, it got a real nice squeeze, but once the squeeze is done and over with, there's no reason for the stock to be up this high. And also, look at the volume from yesterday compared to today. There's no volume. We were also seeing there's no momentum across the board. So paying attention to the environment, what's going on, super key. But real fast opportunity on IINN. A perfect entry on this probably would have been about right here. 470s with that $5 level right there as it was pulling back and gearing up for that kaboom up over 5. Runs up to 520, halt. They halt it, it reopens up here at 550s and quickly rips up to 6. Real fast on IINN. Yeah, SGMA, this may be a good one. I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to lock in my profits for the day. But this stock, it could easily rip up to 1050s and push to a new high. Definitely. It's 1:01 p.m., so we're at that fine line. It's dead lunch hours right now. It's Friday. Could definitely do it. Did exactly as we planned out. Hold above 950s, and now right now it's up $1 from our level. SGMA. Over 1050s. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap it up for the recap for today. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Remember, always have that mindset. You want to live to trade another day. Do not let one stock or one day take you out. This is an everyday grind, and time will tell who sticks around and who gives up and just falls off. We see a lot of people come and go in this game. Don't be just another number. Trust in the process. Take it a day at a time. and look more down the road, long term. Live to trade another day. I'm Mr. Wolf. Thanks for joining me.